Hello and welcome. This video is going to cover some different ways that we can communicate with students on Schoology. We're going to cover updates, messages, and then maybe some leaving comments on assignments. Now, the description or the title of this session referred to email and the fact that kids really aren't using it, and we can try and promote email. Look, I'm good at email. Uh, it, Basically, it's a big part of my job. It's how I communicate with colleagues. Many of our students just aren't using it. The other problem with email is it does actually force them to leave and enter a different application. Where I like these Schoology apps because if they're in Schoology and they're in my course and they're interacting with my material, I love the fact that I can communicate with them without having them to go and open up their email or find their email. So enough on that. I'm not going to fight the email battle with them anymore. Let's just use Schoology. All right. First, let's start with messages. Messages is a pretty good way of communicating. You can see here I have two unread messages right here. They open up like that, and I can see the messages that I'm getting. You might also know that if I go to course options right here, this is a quick and easy way to send a message to my entire class when I'm within a class. I put the subject there, boom, it pushes a message out to all of them. They, speaking of email, they will get an email if they have notifications on for messages. Here's a couple of drawbacks with messages. Number one is like email, some students are not keeping up to date with them. And I remember being in class with students and seeing like a 74 right here. Why aren't you checking your messages? Part of the reason they might not be checking messages is that once you get 2 or 3 or 4 messages, if I have 3 teachers sending out a message a day, or they kind of get buried. I have to go to this view all button right here to see all my messages. There's no way to sort them and put newer messages up top. I can't search for people in my messages. So if I fall just a day or two behind, they're buried and I really got to stay on top of them. I'll say this about messages. It's really effective when the students need to contact me. I recommend students, if you need to get a hold of me, send me a Schoology message. They know how to interact with it. I get the notification. I stay up to date with my messages there. So when they're reaching out to me, I like messages. But if there's something important that I need to communicate with them, uh, I have moved away from using the message feature and I like to use updates. So I'm going to go over here and click on updates, and you can see here are the updates for my speech class. Now you might be thinking, aren't updates similar to messages and that I'm going to get this long stream of updates that I can't sort or search? Uh, yes, and there's a reason for that, and we're going to fix that here in a moment. You do get updates from every course and every group that you're a member of, and I'm in a lot. So when I log into Schoology, my landing page is this Schoology homepage right here, and yes, here is my updates feed. And there are a lot coming at me from different buildings and groups and courses. So this is a long running stream, but kids aren't going to use this. When kids go to my course, now they're only getting your updates. And you'll notice that when I went to my speech class, it landed on updates. I used to have my landing page be materials because I thought, well, this is where my resources are, my folders, my assignments. I need to get them to my materials, in which case they never clicked on updates. It's not part of their thought process. Well, let me see if Mr. Lyson left an update for us today. That's not going to happen. So I make my landing page updates. Now, whatever announcement I have for them is like forced in front of them. Another trick I'll do is I'll put something in here like leave a like when you've read this update so I know that you've read this. Here's one where I did it. So I didn't get everybody. It's not perfect, but or maybe they watched it and they didn't leave a like. But I like my landing page to be updates, and I can say, whatever I want. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to be sending 2 or 3 of these a day. I'm thinking maybe 2 a week. I like to send one out on Friday afternoon. Hope you had a great week. Here's a preview of the upcoming week or whatever it is. Um, Now, they do need to navigate to materials here and get to my materials page. There's a helpful drop-down menu here that kind of gets them into specific folders that they need. They will find the materials. They do know that they gotta find my week 1 or week 2 um, folders, so they have no problem finding materials. How do we make updates your landing page? That's a pretty simple fix. We go back to course options, course settings, and the very first page we come to, if we just scroll down to the bottom, here is our choice. Default landing page. Change that to updates. So I think of students who are getting weekly emails saying, here's the preview for the week. That's not a bad idea because if it's also going to parents, because parents use email. But I'm thinking, let's copy and paste the important text out of that email that students need to know and put it right here on my landing page in Schoology. So there's a difference. There's the difference between communicating updates versus messages in Schoology. Finally, there's one more way that we can get some information or communicate with students, and that's the commenting on assignments. This is a slideshow that I had students submit, and if I open up one student's assignment, this is actually a teacher who joined my course, and so I said, hey, submit an assignment so I can leave you a message. Right here, I can leave a grade comment. Now this communication, this little comment will show up if the student goes to the Schoology gradebook to see what their grade is. There might be some teaching involved there. So I don't use this as a main form of communication back and forth. If there's something they need to fix with their assignment, I do not put it here because this is kind of like after the fact, this is why your grade is this way, and it's dependent again on them going to their Schoology gradebook. So I might use this sometimes, but this is not a way to go back and forth. I'm going to cancel that. Over here under submission activity, this is where I can leave a comment on something they're working on. Maybe I haven't graded it yet, but I need them to fix something. When I post that, the student, Amanda in this case, they can respond back to that. Here's the catch. They have to go back and open the assignment and they'll see that I've left a comment on it. If they've submitted it, very often, they're done and they walk away and they never go back and they won't see my comment. So there might be some teaching there around you have to go back to your assignment. The other way that I can get this comment in front of their face is through notifications. Let's go into a course where I am a student right here. You have this as a teacher on your teacher pages too. You can select when you want to get notifications, and this will send me an email saying this happened in Schoology. I get a little notification bell up here. I'm in a lot of courses, so I do fall behind on that, but I am getting the emails anytime someone joins my course. We click on their notifications, and if they select course comments on updates, assignments, or discussions, now when I'm leaving them comments, they get a notification, either the bell, they get the email. It's just another way of alerting them that Mr. Lyson has left a comment on your assignment. You might want to go read it. So, quick review. Schoology messages are quick and effective. I really like them when kids want to get a hold of me. You cannot sort, you cannot search, and messages quickly get buried. Updates are pretty effective. If you make updates your landing page of your course, it's a good way to force pertinent information in front of your students that they see when they go to your page. And then finally, leaving comments on assignments is another way to communicate that does require them to open the assignment again or have their notifications on like that. So there you are. Hope you learned something. Good luck, everybody.